What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So today I have a reason to pull out the old Tormek T8 and sharpen something. So if you do any kind of woodworking or consider yourself a woodworker, I consider myself a woodworker, but I don't do that much. I don't do as much as I'd like to, but that's gonna change. But anyway, you got to keep your blades sharp. And that's the hardest thing. Like, you can buy a hand plane, and if you buy a good one like a Lee Nielsen, it'll come sharp enough to use, but they don't take long to dull. You know what I mean? Like one good project and that blade isn't what it used to be. And you can, of course, you can send them out and have them sharpened, and send them out and send them out and send them out, and you know, after a while you paid for a Tormek. So I think it's a good thing to have and use, and you don't have to just use it for, you know, hand planes and router planes and stuff like that. I have Amazon box opener that I was using for some stuff besides opening boxes, and this thing's getting quite dull. So I just wanted to show you, you can sharpen other things on that Tormek besides plain blades. You can do scissors, you can do kitchen knives, you can do all sorts of stuff with it. It's a great tool to have. If you're sharpening stuff on the regular, I highly recommend one of these Tormeks. Let's go out and set it up and sharpen a knife. Alright, so if you guys haven't seen the last video, I bought this, got it on Amazon. It was like 800 bucks. But it makes your life so much easier. And you know, if you're gonna be spending money on sharpening anyway, you know, it'll pay for itself eventually. Plus you have the tool and you can charge people, so there's that. But basically it's a sharpening stone which goes down into this trough of water. There's a little magnet thing back here, so all the metal shavings that come off into the water will stick to that magnet, so you can scrape that stuff off so it's not going down the drain. And this is a leather strop glued onto a wheel, like a power strop. So the first thing you want to do is hydrate your wheel, and you can get diamond wheels, but it's like 300 bucks just for the wheel. And I don't know, the diamond wheels, you can't change the grit like this one. This one you can put the rough side and grind the stone a little bit, and then it will cut rough, and then you can use the fine side, smooth the stone out, and then it will be like a finer grit stone for sharpening. But I haven't used this thing in a while. I don't know what condition it's in. So we're going to, I already hydrated it. You just keep pouring water into the trough while the wheel's spinning, and it's just going to keep sucking up water, sucking up water. And as soon as it stops and you're able to keep the water at the level line, then you're good. You know you're hydrated, and you can shut it down. Let me turn this so you guys can see. Some stuff out of the way. So I prefer hand sharpening with jigs for some things because I feel like I can get them sharper than I can with this, but the manufacturer disagrees. They think you can get it just as sharp on this, which you probably can. I don't know, I'm just picky. So this is the stone grater or the stone flattener. You want the stone to be perfectly flat and parallel with this bar, because everything is referenced off this bar when you're sharpening. So if this and this is not perfectly parallel, you know, it's not going to sharpen right. So this has a little piece of, I don't even know what it is, but it's impregnated with diamonds. And you just turn the handles and this thing moves back and forth, and you just make passes slowly and flatten this thing. And I also noticed that when you're sharpening, especially crap metal, the metal gets stuck in the stone and it will stop working after a while. So you kind of have to use this every once in a while just to get all the gunk out and get it cutting again. So that's what we're going to start with, just to make sure everything's nice. So this thing slides on, turn this knob, locks it in place so it doesn't move. We've got our micro adjust here. Drop it down. Looks like it's not touching the stone, but let's take it away. And now I'm just gonna drop it down until I hit it, until I hit this stone. There it is. It's starting to hit. Walk it in. Not enough. See that? This side of the stone was worn down more than this side. Okay. Started hitting evenly all the way across. So that's nice and rough too now. And it's nice and parallel with the bar. now we use this knife holding jig. And you just clamp the knife on. And then this is your guide that rests against this bar. This might be tough to get on camera, but because I gotta be able to see what I'm doing. Maybe I can move you guys back here. All right. So there's this little gauge that it comes with, and first off you got to check as your wheel wears down. There's a gauge right here. So we're at about 230. Is at 230. You set your gauge to what the wheel is worn down to, right here. And then usually you rest this gauge on whatever you're sharpening, and you set your angle here. You know, like 25 degrees for a chisel. You lock that in, and you put your chisel on here. You rest this on the wheel. And then as long as this plastic piece is flat on the chisel, you know you're going to be sharpening at 25 degrees. And you can take a knife or something, or whatever you have, and you can try to fit it in these slots to try to figure out what the blade was sharpened at. But it's tough with knives, I've found. What I do is I'll gauge it by eye and then make a quick pass and see. And just do it like that, because I don't need an exact science on my knife. As long as it's sharp and it cuts, I don't really care. But chisels and stuff like that are more, there's a reason behind the angles, and this is just for opening boxes and stuff, so it's not that big of a deal to me. So I just sight down it. That looks, I go down a little bit. Tiny bit more. Looks close. All right, I'm gonna lock that in and give it a whirl. So basically you just start on one end, and you can use this to get the contour of the blade just by rolling it. I hope I have the camera set right. Should be. Good. All right, let's give it a whirl. And you can see where the water's coming up on the blade. That's where you're touching. very easy on the first couple of passes, just to make sure I'm not like way off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See? Bye. Looks good except for the very bottom. Oh yeah. Look at that. Look how clean that is. That's like professional level results. And I have no idea what I'm doing. Alright, so let's get on to the other side. Just want to look at the water. Look at the water and follow the contour of the knife. Oh yeah. This is D2 steel, so this isn't, it's not bad steel for a pocket knife. I tell you what though, I have the sharpest kitchen knives in town. I keep them sharp, and this thing is like, you don't need to be a woodworker to want one of these. Just for everyday stuff. You can sharpen lawnmower blades, just anything. Hatchets, wood turning tools. Alright, so now this is cutting a little bit fast, and I'm not able to get this blade as sharp as I want, so we're going to use the smooth side on our dressing block, and we're going to smooth this stone out. gonna do it again. You hear the sound difference? That's nice. Alright, now what usually people will do, I've seen other people do it, but you move this bar, you flip it around. Put it in here, because this is spinning this way. And you would strop it this way, because if you had the wheel coming towards it, the knife would just dig in and peel your strop right off. But you don't want that. And usually people will take a magic marker and just mark just the leading edge and keep going back to the strop until you get that marker off. But honestly, I just eyeball it. As I get water everywhere. So you get some buffing compound. Still got a little bit left on this one. Some on the strop. Tormek sends you this paste. You're supposed to put some oil, which I always put oil on the leather before I put the buffing compound. But I don't know, I think this is a lot messier than this green stuff. It does the same thing. So now I'm going to take it out of the jig. And I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm just going to rock the knife until I feel that I'm on that bevel. notice that it pulls a lot when you're on the right angle. Careful that I just hit the handle on the stone, so I have to go on an angle a little bit here. It's pretty sharp, but I want to hit it one more time on this flat one. Gotta be careful here. One slip and you're gonna have a bad day. And I've done it. Oh yeah. All right, let's go give it the paper test. All right. Paper test. Commence. That is sharp. That's how I like to keep my stuff. So originally. And this is what you need to look into. Like when you're buying a kitchen knife, when you're buying a pocket knife, you know, any kind of bladed item, you need to look into the metal. And I found this out the hard way. So I bought, the very first plane I ever bought was a Veritas. And I looked up, it came with 3 different kinds of blades. It came with 01, which is super hard and will hold an edge forever. That's what it said. A2, you can get a little bit sharper, a lot sharper than 01, but it doesn't hold an edge as long. Or they have PMV11, but there's a price for PMV11, and this is actually a powdered metal. And I you know, there's some people that disagree with the powdered metal thing, and some people that are like, whatever. So I ordered 01 just because I was like, well, I don't have, like at the time I didn't have sharpening gear, and I was like, I want it sharp and I want it to stay sharp for a long, long time. But I found out that 01, you can sit there for days sharpening it, and it won't do that paper test crap. I couldn't get it to do it anyway. Then I went to Lee Nielsen for my next plane, and their blades are A2, but they do an extra cryogen treatment to make them just that much harder. So these blades, you can get them super sharp, and they'll go and go and go and go. They don't lose an edge very fast, but they do need sharpenings. So when I saw the A2 of Lee Nielsen, I started, and the 01 blades that I had on these planes before, I had an 01 blade on this jointer, and I was using it, and I was like, wow, this thing sucks. Like, it sucks. It doesn't work. So then I started trying some of Lee Nielsen's, and oh my god, I was like, these things cut beautifully. What is going on? So then I found out if I went and got PMV11, which is supposed to be the best of both worlds put together. You've got the hardness so it holds an edge, but it's soft enough that you can get it super sharp, and it works. So I was like, alright, I'll pay the little extra money. I got all PMV11 blades for my Veritases. I tried them again, and it was like a brand new plane. So always look into the metal, what the blade is actually made out of. So for these pocket knives, it's D2, for this one anyway. And it does pretty good. You get it pretty sharp, and it does last. So that's it. I just wanted to show you guys the versatility with the Tormek T8, and I didn't sharpen a blade yet on it, but you can do kitchen knives and anything you have in your house, man, like axes, lawnmower blades. You can sharpen it on that thing. So make sure you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time.